The following is a typical evening of a fangirl as she reads fanfiction. The short story is Horizontal by Fanfiction. Cloud was feeling emo as usual. Even more so, having still not remembered everything he had forgotten since being summoned into this foreign world by Cosmos. Squall was being his dejected, overthinking, loner self when he fatefully bumped into Cloud, alone in the gates. Squall's friend Lagna had recently told him he needed to get to know these other guys better and broaden his horizontals. However, Squall was not entirely sure if that was what Lagna had truly meant at the time. Of course, he also wasn't sure what Lagna was doing pulling on Zidane's tail to see if it was real horizontals. He would have to make a point to actually ask Cloud about it. Cloud, however, was struggling in his own way. Despite not having recovered too many of his old memories, he had remembered this warm feeling deep inside that caused a rather peculiar reaction in his pants. Cloud was anxious to attach this feeling to a cause in order to facilitate a release from the tingling sensation brewing within his nether regions. It would be at this precise moment that Squall would come to Cloud to ask Cloud's assistance in the matter of his horizontals. He turned to Cloud to ask, but was preoccupied by Cloud's hands, impulsively reaching for his rapidly increasing member. Cloud started to notice Squall staring at him, and this caused him to become very red all over, yet he couldn't seem to pull himself away from, well, himself. This look of helplessness on Cloud's face seemed awfully familiar and increasingly arousing to Squall, who soon found his own member throbbing so hard that he was forced to let it out of his pants. As Cloud fell to his knees panting in exasperation, Squall said to himself, "I finally understand my horizontals," and proceeded to take off his coat, shirt, and finally lower his pants to the ground in front of Cloud as Cloud uncontrollably began licking the precum slick head of Squall's pulsating shaft. After finally stripping himself of his cloths, Squall started stripping Cloud of his until nary a thread was left hiding Cloud's toned physique. The sight of Cloud's wonderfully built body was enough for Squall to finally lose it. He grabbed Cloud's slippery member and lowered his virgin ass onto it. Cloud held him tightly in his arms and began to make love slowly to Squall's tightening sphincter. The first time Cloud's pulsating cock pressed against Squall's welcoming prostate, he felt a rush of warmth come over his entire body as he began to become more and more his. And his was exactly what Squall was. No longer his own man, but was now Cloud's willing lover. Cloud began to passionately kiss his new lover and push him backwards onto the rocky floor. Horizontal. This was it. Squall was horizontal.